up, you guys? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 225. Now, this chapter is another continuation of the last one. We have Luffy once again resisting the urge to pick up his fists and to fight back. And the thing is Oda really allows Luffy and Zoro to just take a beating, and not just physically. Like, you know, their pride had to have been hit a little bit. And the reason I say a little bit is they're getting spit on, they're being slapped around, Nami's being made fun of in front of. I mean, they're taking a lot. And it just speaks volumes to the type of men that they are, that they can stand there and do that. And it goes back to something that, you know, my mom told me a lot when I was really little. You know, you're supposed to pick and choose your battles. And I don't know what tipped them off, but Luffy and Zoro are looking at I just answered my own question in my head. But Luffy and Zoro, they're looking at Bellamy and all of these pirates, and they're going, if you need to test out your strength against someone else just because you saw, oh, they're worth 30 million, and you want to see how strong you're fighting without a purpose. Because you're fighting without a purpose, you are of no interest to me. And we see an internal monologue with Luffy where Luffy will call Shanks, and he's saying, Shanks is like, you're going to be better than us. And Ace is saying, the next time we'll meet, we'll be on the high seas. And for Luffy, you know, Luffy's just looking at it like, you're in my way. You're not worth my time. And with Zoro, you know, Zoro, he wants to be the master swordsman, the greatest swordsman of them all because of what happened with Kuina. You just see so much, like, and that was very beautiful just to see that, because they're sticking to their beliefs. And even Nami, when Nami is just like, I told you to hit them, right? Without even realizing it, Nami follows lead, and she says like, look, you want to buy me, I have no reason to join you third-rate pirates. I don't have a reason. And I like just seeing how Nami stands up for herself, because when you look at the situation she was in, now that definitely could have gone a different direction. You know, you have a pretty young woman in a bar filled with pirates, and there was an undertone there where he said it could be fun. And it's just a double meaning behind it, you know, because he offered to buy her, that's objectifying her, fun, that's a sexual undertone. So just seeing that, like, and how she's so quick to stand her ground. And the big fat tubby dude, he had a really good point. He said, like, I like your comeback. Because when that happened, I was just like, yeah! Like, I was loving that. I love seeing that, simply for the fact that you're looking at Nami and you're going, that's my bitch. Like, I like that. And while I was reading this whole scene, one of the things that just really struck me is a little different, but it goes back to picking and choosing your battles, okay? And it reminds me of a time when I was in middle school, right? I was in 7th grade, and we had this really poor kid in our classroom, okay? And where I went to middle school at, I wouldn't call it middle class, I wouldn't call it upper middle class. Like, the average family income in that area was like $88,000. So well off, but like I said, I wouldn't necessarily call that upper middle class. But the thing is, we had a really poor kid, and I knew about what he was going through, simply for the fact that I was the type of kid, like, I tried to talk to everyone. You know, I wasn't trying to be an asshole or anything. I just kept to myself, and I talked to everyone. Like, I kind of chameleon my way through, because I was going through some stuff during that time period. But the thing is we went into the bathroom one day, right? And we had a substitute, and we're in the bathroom, and 3 of the really popular kids, they jumped on him, okay? And I'm not gonna say his name. It's gonna be really tough for me not to say his name. But the thing is while they're jumping him, I'm starting to just, you know, hop in, right? And he shoots me this look, and he didn't have to say anything, but just from the look he gave me, it just really, I was like, okay, he could probably whoop their ass. And I found out later that, you know, the kid was actually in Taekwondo classes, and, well, he was in them before what happened with his parents, but he knew, like, the Taekwondo and everything, very skilled at it, and he could have whooped their asses. and he didn't. He just took it. You know, they're calling him poor kid. They're saying that he smells. They're making fun of his clothes. And I know that, you know, because of what was going on with his father's job got sent overseas. You know, mom was very sick. Like, I understood what he was going through. What they didn't know was this dude was actually living in a shelter, and they didn't want him going to another school. That's why they continued to use their old address. Like, they didn't change anything with the school system. So I like seeing that, because it reminded me of that moment where you do pick and choose your fights. And I know for me, if that would have been me, that frustration would have came out. Luffy had every right to whoop these dudes' asses, and he didn't. Like, I clap for that. That was good. That was really good. Like I said, you see a lot about these characters as men, or in Nami's case, as women. And I really want to see if there's going to be some type of confrontation with the Bellamy crew later on. And I really think this might be an arc where Luffy finds out about his updated bounty. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna ask once again, I believe the same question as the last one. Was there ever a time where you had to choose not to fight? Why? And the second thing, because I think I've already asked this question before, is what did you think about the decision to stick to their dreams, okay? Because I really feel like Luffy was looking at that big dude, and the reason why he said I think he's a bunch of people is because the big fat dude is just like, look, people's dreams never end. And it's almost like he's encompassing so many different people's dreams and hopes and ambitions, that type of stuff. So I'm really interested to see if that's like the symbolism behind it. Let me know what you guys thought about that as well. But as always, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, share. I will greatly appreciate it. That's it. Thanks for watching Kryptonian Save.